then that Twitter actually goes to the app, the DML app, and then it sends you an alert. Now, if you have your alerts and notifications turned off on the app, you're not going to get that. You're not going to get that messaging. So that's something that you want in notifications. If you don't have your notifications on, you're missing the alerts and the, hey, we're going to be on in 5 minutes. We're going to be on. Or sometimes we can't get on for whatever reason. I get stuck in traffic. Harlan isn't around. We got something else going on, a meeting we can't move. So like the other day, we had a 3 o'clock. We change it and we send that information to the app. So you want to know that. The second thing you do is if you don't have a fancy phone, or if you just don't like apps for whatever reason, you can still do the text alert, which is if you dial 40404 on your cell phone. So that's 40404 on your cell phone, and you write in follow at space real Dennis Lynch, all one word, real Dennis Lynch. So it's follow at space real Dennis Lynch. You don't write space, you hit the space bar, at real Dennis Lynch. You'll get the when we put out those notifications about the walk and talk, you'll get the message to your phone. But aside from that, I don't know what to tell you about Facebook because, and by the way, if you're just jumping in now, I'm responding to one of the first people who said I'm not getting a response. I don't know what to tell you. Facebook, for whatever reason, has determined who it is and when it is that they're going to send, hey, DML is live. So I don't control any of that, and there's nothing I can do. Hey, good friend, is there any way I could ask you for a cup of coffee?
Absolutely.
Thanks so much.
I haven't sipped this, if you want it.
Huh?
I have not sipped that.
Oh,
so
I'll take it. Thank you very much. Harlan, gotta love the kid. All right, so anyway, it's gonna be a short walk and talk today. Harlan and I have a lot to do.
But there might be a terror attack.
A terror attack?
I don't know.
Really?
Somebody plowed into Mardi Gras parade.
Mardi Gras parade? Well, that was the other day. Again?
That's crazy.
All right, well, right now, Harlan's going to turn on the television here. Apparently, there is a breaking news alert. We'll let you know in a second that there could have been an attempted terror attack. And just kind of, you could play it, but keep it low if you can.
Yeah, I'm
all right. So anyway, let me jump into two topics that I want to get, bearing the fact that we don't get some kind of unfortunate news here about a terror attack. Are you going to go to CNN?
Yeah.
Or Fox?
Fox, I think.
Oh, go to both.
What number?
26 and 25 is Fox and CNN.
Yeah.
See who's got it.
I saw a Fox anchor tweet about it, so that's why.
Oh, Fox anchor tweeted about it?
Yeah,
all
John
right.
Scott.
Here you go, it's on. I don't know if you got it. All right, sorry about this. Anyway, the two topics that I'm going to discuss this morning, real quick. First and foremost, you've got the president is speaking tonight. And he is going to have a lot to talk about, according to an interview he did this morning with Fox News. The interview he had this morning with Fox News was very interesting. Although I do not watch Fox News anymore, I have told you this, it doesn't mean that you can't or you shouldn't. I would never tell you what to watch or what not to watch. But the clip was sent to me this morning from somebody who saw it, that the president was on with Fox and Friends. And so anyway, he had said that he's going to be speaking tonight about the things that we talked about yesterday, thankfully. He's going to be talking about border security. He's going to be talking about jobs. He's going to be talking about national security. He's going to be talking about tax reform, Obamacare, repealing and replacing. He's going to be talking about the fact that he wants to increase the budget for military spending up to as high as $54 billion. These are great things for him to be speaking about. I don't believe he is going to be talking about fake news or the protests that are scheduled to take place outside before he does his speech. Apparently, Rosie O'Donnell is going to be spearheading those protests outside tonight before he speaks. I don't think she knows what it is that she's protesting about, but that's okay. Most protesters don't know what they're protesting about. They just do it because they hear or think it's fashionable, or they're just trying to shine a spotlight on themselves. So to that degree, you hearing anything? The fact that they're not covering straight from there makes it say to me that there's nothing.
It apparently happened.
It happened
15 minutes ago.
15 minutes? Go to CNN, see what they have. They usually stick on that kind of stuff. So anyway, that being said, I'm very happy to hear that that is what he's going to be focusing on tonight, because as you know, I have been very vocal this week about the fact that we need better messaging out of the president, that we need a more direct message on, hey, where are we and where are we going? And let's review the great things that we've done so far. The stock market looks fantastic. The job market is looking like it's getting much better than it was. Jobs are being created because companies are saying, hey, I'm feeling really good about future prospects. These are the sort of things that people really want to know and need to hear about. And so I'm hoping he's going to focus on that tonight. And based on the video clip that I watched this morning of him being on Fox and Friends, he said that that's what he's going to focus on. Now, the other thing I want to bring up, and I always tell you the truth. The day that I start lying to you is the day you should stop watching, which is an important thing to say as a note. You know, if you want to come here every day and hear rah, 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 President Trump is the greatest person who's ever lived, you're not going to get that from me. I have said this to you a million times before. You know, I am not a Secret Service agent. My job is not to protect the president. My job is to protect what I think is the truth and to deliver you real news and to give you honest opinions with backup to those opinions, which I pride myself on doing rather well. Maybe not perfect all the time, but I think I do it pretty well. I understand these topics because I've studied them at great length, probably more length than I would have. I'd like to have some of that life back, to be quite honest. And so I feel that I can talk to you about these things intelligently. Things I can't talk about intelligently, things that I don't know a lot about, I usually don't talk about much at all, or I'll just breeze over them very quickly and I'll say to you, you're asking me about chemtrails? I don't know a lot about chemtrails. I haven't studied it and I don't know a lot about it. If there's a topic out there that I don't know much about in terms of I haven't studied to see if it's true or not, I don't touch it because I cannot put my stamp on it. But when it comes to topics that I'm pretty solid on, when it comes to things that I think I can offer a solution or I could offer some good insight, I go deep into them. And I never apologize and I never walk back off anything that I have to say. If I make a mistake, I'll say it. If I've gotten it right, I'm going to tell you. And I tell you that not for the sake that I could say, oh, look at my scorecard and I'm 5-0 or I'm 10-0. I do it so this way you can have confidence in the fact that what you hear here is something that you could deliver to somebody else as being authentic, because my name is on the door. All right, I don't have some kind of website like truthandnewseverySingleDay.com. It says Dennis Michael Lynch. So the fact that I'm putting my name to it should add a little extra kudos. But going back, one of the things that I was happy to hear today, not just because it confirms everything that I've been saying over the last week, but because, more importantly, it says that President Trump, has come to terms with something. And what that something is he was asked by the people of Fox and Friends whether or not he thinks that he's been effective in his messaging. And he said no, he didn't. He felt as if he's probably done not so good of a job in that. In fact, he rated himself, I think it was a C- to somewhere between a C- and a C+. So, if you take a 7, it's funny, it's amazing. Somebody sent me some today, says, I swear on the fact that he watches your walk and talks. Well, I can't confirm that, or I can't confirm it true or not true. But it's funny because yesterday we spoke about, I used the analogy of my son in saying the fact that, he's getting a 75, or in other words, a C on his ability to do math. And all I'm telling him is I love you and I support you. And I want to see you do well because I know you're capable of a 92 to a 95. And so that's what it is I've been talking about. And today the president came out and said, you know what, in terms of messaging, I give myself a C. So he knows he's hitting 75 and he's capable, this man is capable of 95 to 100. That's why it is that I shouldn't say 100, nobody's perfect. 75 to 95 to 99. I mean, this is why we all voted for him. This is why we all championed for him. This is why I was willing to throw my job away with a television show with my name on it, because I wasn't going to change the way I stood on things. So the fact that the president is now coming to terms with, hey, maybe my messaging isn't as straightforward as it should be. Maybe I'm not focusing on the things that I should be focusing on in my messaging. I give kudos for that. I give kudos for that. None of us are perfect. All of us can improve. That's why I read your messages all the time. I read your messages every single day. It takes up probably half of my day. And I do that because I want to see, and I don't always agree with what you send me, but at least I want to see what it is that you are grasping and what you like and what you don't like. And for as long as it's an intelligent conversation, I'll listen all day long. When it's stupid and I get name called and I'm called a queer or I'm called whatever it is that some people do, then I say, okay, let's give this person their 15 minutes of fame. But I love the fact that Donald Trump, President Trump, is listening. He's listening to himself. He's listening to you. He's looking at the emails. He's looking at the different things that he needs to look at. And he says, hey, I can improve here. That takes a big person. It takes a big person to realize the fact that I haven't been scoring 100. Maybe I need to improve on a couple of things. And that's what I've been calling for. It's so early in the game, folks. It's so early in the game that nothing that has taken place in the first 45 days cannot be changed in the right direction. That's the beautiful thing of this. So the fact that he has identified this, whether he did it on his own or his teammates did it, or he's listening to your letters that are going in, if you're complaining about that sort of thing, it sounds like he's going to start changing his tune a little bit. And I think that's fantastic because we're all in this together and we all want to make America great again. So I will be listening tonight with great anticipation for a message that is unifying and for a message that says, hey, look, here's really what we have gotten done so far. Here is what we've got in place that's coming up the pipe. And by the way, here are some of the things that we want to do for you to protect your health, to protect your security, and to put more money in your pocket. He focuses on those three things, and he can start changing this narrative to something he's controlling and to something that all Americans, whether you're on the left or in the right, for as long as you've got your mind screwed on decently, then you know that you could start moving in a positive direction. So that's fantastic. I'm very excited for that. And I hope all of you will support him tonight and tune in and listen to what it is that he has to say. He is somebody. We all have things that make us feel good, right? So, he likes it when his ratings are high. He likes it when he knows that people are caring and listening to what it is that he has to say. So make sure you tune in tonight. Let him tout the fact that he had good rating tonight. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So give him some support, and because absolutely we'll be talking about it tomorrow. Now, the other topic that I wanted to touch upon briefly is one that, again, just sort of says, yeah, well, we all knew that this was going to happen. A lot of times, almost all of the time, in fact, 98.5% of the time, if I had to give it a number, everybody focuses in on the southern border. Everybody. Everybody just looks at that southern border. We need a wall, we don't need a wall. Do we need a wall? How big is the wall got to be? My God, they're just coming in through unbelievable levels. They're just rushing through the border. We got to secure the border. Well, everybody is always looking down south. There's another major border we have. In fact, it is the biggest border in the world, and that is the border between Canada and America. I'm one of very few people. In fact, I seriously don't know of anybody else in the media who has taken the amount of time that I've taken to study that northern border. And it's just as dangerous as the southern border. No, we don't have the number of people coming in through that border, but we do have very dangerous people coming in through that border. And unfortunately, Canada is a complete hotbed for Islamic terrorism. If you watch They Come to America 3, I have shown you there's no question, you see it for yourself. We have no border patrol along many parts of that border. There are border patrol stations that were just completely 100% shut down. There's nobody there, empty boxes. I filmed it for you, you got to see it. Now what's happening is the reverse side to a certain degree. Reuters is reporting that in January and February, 143 Somalians that came here to the US are now leaving. They are going to Canada. And one town that they looked at specifically was this town called Emerson in Canada. It has only 650 residents. Most of those residents are not doing very well financially. And now they've got 143 new Somalians coming in, all right? Now, something else. Every single time that somebody calls the 911 emergency in Canada, it costs the city $500 per call for that response. They are getting flooded with phone calls now from these Somalian refugees and from people in this town of Emerson. Hey, I got 16 people knocking on my door. Hey, I got 2 people I just found in the snow. And so now, you know, the Prime Minister, Mr. Trudeau, who is, I always say, he's the Canada's equivalent of Obama. He has been sitting there touting his liberal horn, saying, oh, well, if America doesn't want the refugees, if America doesn't want the abundance of all these immigrants coming in, we'll take them. All right, well, sometimes, pal, you've got to worry about what you wish for, because now what he is doing, and Canada's going to start getting a good taste of it, is now he is flooding people into his nation who basically are going to wind up costing the residents of that country and that specific town a great deal of money, which they just do not have. Not to mention the fact that you're talking about 143 Somalians coming in to a country, and meanwhile, they have not been properly vetted. Now you could say, well, wait a second, DML, they were vetted before they came into America. Yeah, okay, we do not have a very good vetting process in the measure, based on the measures that the President Trump, would like to see those vetting processes be handled. You know, I often tell this story because I think it's so unbelievable. And yes, it's a little bit outdated, but as far as I'm concerned, it says it all. Back on 9/11, obviously we had the 19 terrorists in 9/11. Well, a few months after 9/11 took place, I think it was March or April of the following year. So what was it? 6 months. That's 6 months. Some of the terrorists who died in 9/11 were actually approved by the government to attend flight school in Florida. Do you understand this? So you want to talk about vetting? These are people who came in through our visa program. They put fake everything. I hate the word fake. They lied on their visa applications. Some of their visa applications weren't even completely filled out correctly. They got in here. They committed the most incredible, deadly terror attack on US soil. And yet 6 months later, they were dead, and still, even though they were dead, and even though their original forms were all phony, they still got approval to be part of a flight academy school down in Florida. You want me to believe that we've got good vetting? You want me to say, oh, don't worry about it. Come on, there hasn't been a terror attack. There's only maybe, well, all right, so we get 1 bad apple, 2 bad apples? 19 bad apples took down the 2 biggest buildings in this country. They flew a plane into the Pentagon. They buried another one into Pennsylvania, into a field. Yeah, I'm worried about everybody. 143 Somalians heading up to Canada. Have you checked lately? Go to the Department of State website. Go to their website and just look up the report that they have on Somalia. They have right at the top, to you, travel alert. We suggest you don't go to Somalia. The government is completely corrupt. People are getting kidnapped. Terrorism is all over the place. People are held for ransom. These are people. This is the country where we're taking in people at an alarming rate. And so now they're leaving us and they're heading up to Canada. Something really, really, really to be said there. Something's really big to be said there. 650 residents now have 150 who are Somalians going up to Canada. So, that said, I told you this is going to be an abbreviated walk and talk. Holland and I are doing a lot of advancements today here. We've got to go get a bunch of different new materials, and that is that. If you get the chance today, definitely go to DennisMichaelLynch.com and take the poll. I'll give you the poll results so far. We put a poll up asking you what it was that you wanted the president to focus on tonight. And let me see what it is that you have said so far that you want him to do. Bear with me. Okay, so what we did was you could go, if you go to DennisMichaelLynch.com, it's on the homepage. In fact, it should be under polls, but it's not. I'll change that in 2 seconds when I'm done here. But if you go to the interact button, you hit polls, it will be up there as the top poll. We asked what topics should the president discuss most tonight. And we said, we give you a whole list of topics, and we said you could pick 3. Pick 3 that you want to go from. And I will read out to you quickly what these topics were. Is immigration, including a new temporary travel ban and the wall. Number 2, repealing and replacing Obamacare. 3, lowering taxes. 4, rebuilding the military and national security. Number 5, creating jobs and improving the economy. 6, reducing crime and drugs. 7, Russia. 8, fighting fake news. 9, Islamic terror. 10, the White House leaks. Next would be voter fraud, Social Security, bringing unity to America, all of the above or other. And the results are, the number 1 topic that you want the president to speak about is repealing and replacing Obamacare. 17% of the votes gathered was for that. Number 2 is you want him to speak about immigration, including a new temporary travel ban and the wall. That's at 15%. And number 3 is that you chose all of above. Actually, number 3 and number 4 are kind of tied. It's almost the same. All of the above and lowering taxes. The least 2 that were chosen, Russia and fighting fake news. Right above that, voter fraud. So those are the 3 topics that you don't want the president touching tonight. Voter fraud, fighting fake news, and Russia. And the top 3 basically come down to your health, your security, and your money. Yeah, somebody told me today, DML, you're breaking your shoulder, patting it so often. Well, there you go. It's getting sore. By the way, I'm going to end on this. There was a nice little debate this morning on Facebook. I had posted, that thing I do where if you want to send me a comment, I respond on your comment. It's becoming very popular on our website. One of the biggest things that is always clicked on. And one of the things that we went over today was something with regard to, what the hell did they bring it up with? Give me a second. I'll tell you right now. You got my interest going here, DML. Talking to myself. I'll be ready in a second, Harlan.
Yeah, no worries.
Anything on this terror attack, or it's not?
It's not. Apparently just an elderly driver, but 11 people are in the hospital.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
All right, so that terror attack thing we were telling you about, it's apparently an elderly driver. It's the second in 1 week where we had this driving stuff happening on, and unfortunately 11 people are in the hospital, so we're definitely going to be praying for them today. What did this person say? Oh, it was about the fact of, here's what it was. Always somebody wanted to kick somebody else in the shins. It was a woman had sent me an email regarding the fact of the president. She wanted the president to, she said, do you know if the president listens to the walk and talks? And I said, well, I know that 2 people who are close to the president know of the walk and talks. That's as much as I could tell you. And I laughed, saying, it's funny, a lot of times I feel like he does, because the message the next day, or at least 2 days after, sounds like the same thing that we just talked about on the walk and talk. And this morning, on this Fox clip, it's almost as if he was listening yesterday, because his tone completely changed, his demeanor completely changed, his message went to exactly what we spoke about here yesterday. I mean, it was almost to the point. When they tried to bring up fake news to him, he hit it and he moved on. You know, he hit it and he moved on, and that was it. And he just didn't slash and anybody. He wasn't confrontational. He was just trying to be very unifying, and I was very impressed with it. So we posted that up, and then on Facebook, somebody said, "Oh, I thought you don't watch Fox News anymore." I said, "All right." Somebody sent me the clip. You know, I wasn't watching Fox News. Somebody sent me the clip. Somebody sends me the clip. I look at your emails. I'm going to do that for you. So then another person came back and said, "Oh, DML said he disagreed with Hannity. Hannity said that Trump should continue to slam on the media." I disagree with Sean. So I want to say something about that. I want to say something very important about that, because I responded to that one on Facebook. I saw it, and I think I gave a very good answer. It is important for you to know, right? What Sean Hannity tells you is not gospel. What Dennis Michael Lynch tells you is not gospel. What you hear Anderson Cooper say, or Tucker Carlson say, or whoever you may pick, even Bill O'Reilly, who thinks he gives you gospel, but none of it's gospel. What we're doing, all right, and I think this is so important. I can't be more clear on this message. What we're doing is we're taking what it is that we experience every single day in the news business, and we are giving to you what we think is our opinion and analysis on that. When I say that, not on my website, on our website, we report to you simply what's going on. I have a triple protection, all right? Triple protection. I have a process. It has to pass a certain process in order for me to put it on that website. If it doesn't, it doesn't go on that website. And that's why I never get nailed for anything that is fake, all right? So aside from that, when we do this is opinion. This is analysis. That's what Sean will be the first one to tell you, that he's not giving you journalism at nighttime. He's giving you opinion and analysis. His opinion is that the president should continue to hammer away at the media. My opinion is he shouldn't. It's two differing opinions. Doesn't make him smarter or me smarter than the other one. At the end of the day, you have to weigh in on who you agree with. You either weigh in with Sean or you weigh in with DML. Doesn't mean that either one of us likes or supports the president more than the other one. It means that, as far as I'm concerned, what it means for me, I can't tell you what it means for Sean. I can only tell you for what it means for me is that I'm not here to protect the president. I'm here to protect you from not having to question what you can and cannot believe, and I'm here to try to give you my insight because I think you trust that insight. The day you don't trust it, the day you don't like it, don't come. I don't look. See, you can't see it, but I see it right here. There's a number here. It tells me how many of you are there. It's meaningless to me. I don't care if it says 2, 2,700, or 27,000. I'm always going to say what I believe, and that's it. Now, I will tell you this. This is an important thing to know. When you look at somebody like DML and you look at somebody like Hannity, I know Sean. Sean and I exchange emails periodically. We just exchanged emails last week. I will tell you that if you had to sit here and say, DML, list the 3 or 4 things in your life that got you to where you are in your business, I'd say, okay, one of them is Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity gave me a 1-hour special to talk about one of my films. And after he did that, my speeches went off the roof. You know, they went boom. Now, I had been on Fox News well before him, and I had been on Fox News a lot after him, and not on his show. I started going on Megan's show all the time. I'd go on O'Reilly. I'd go on Fox and Friends. And I was on those shows prior to Sean. I've been on Sean's show literally 2 times. 1 full hour for myself, and another time I was asked, because they were short people, if myself and my son would be on a panel. And I did it purely out of courtesy because they were short and I was passing through Manhattan. Aside from that, I've been on Sean's show 1 time. That's it. Okay. I am not ever going to change my position on topics that I have truly studied and I know. I'm not. And this is not a slam on Sean. I'm just going to tell you one thing that is big time difference between he and I. And you can insert Sean with somebody else. This is not about Sean Hannity. I'm using him because somebody wrote about it today. They said, basically you could trust Sean more than DML. On immigration, I have studied this topic to the level of, I can't explain it. I can't explain how much I've studied that topic. I know it back and forth because I've studied it so much. I've studied it and I come away believing that unless the details that I give you and the outline to solve that problem that I have given you time and again is, unless that's completed, you truly will never, as a country, I'm not talking about Trump, I'm not talking about Bush, I'm not talking about Obama, I'm talking about us as a country and a Congress and the people. We will never truly protect the American worker, and we will never truly protect American lives unless it is that we implement the program that I have for immigration. It's not because it's me, it's not because I'm the smartest guy in the room, it's not because I think my crap doesn't stink. It's because I have studied this in such a way that I truly understand this. And that is why even if I were to run for office and it was popular to say something different, I would never ever change my tune. The wall is nice, but it ain't gonna solve the problem. Until the incentive is removed to stay here illegally and come here illegally, the problem will continue. Will it slow down with the wall? Absolutely. Will it slow down with a temporary ban? Absolutely. Will we solve this problem? Absolutely not. Until we turn around and start deporting people, not the criminals and the gang members and the drug dealers. Yeah, they gotta go too. But they by and large deal with themselves. And deporting criminals to me is too late because they've already committed the crime. I say we gotta start deporting the people who are working here every single day and send a clear message that the party is over and we are no longer open for business. You cannot come here and work illegally. You cannot come here and take our welfare and our school and our hospital services. You can't get that anymore. We're not giving that away. Me saying that is not anti-immigrant. Me saying that is not anti-illegal alien as a person. To me, that's saying pro-America. I understand how to fix this problem. I will never, ever, ever, ever bend on that message. Now, Sean Hannity was pretty much singing the same tune I was singing prior to 2012. When Romney lost the election, Sean Hannity went on the radio and on television, and he said in clear as day words the following: "It's simple to me to fix it," meaning immigration. "I think you control the border first. You create a pathway for those people that are here. You don't say you've got to go home." And that is the position that I've evolved on. Because you know what? It's not gonna be resolved. The majority of people here, if some people have criminal records, you can send them home. But if people are here, law-abiding, participating for years, their kids are born here, first secure the border, pathway to citizenship, done. Whatever little penalties you want to put in there, if you want, then it's done. You can't let the problem continue. It's got to stop. That was his comment. That is called amnesty. No matter how it is that you want to slice and dice it, that's called amnesty. To me, that solution is basically driven by I don't want to lose any more elections. It's not driven by, I want to protect the American worker. Now, Sean has come back to now he's behind the president on all this different stuff. Can't give a pathway. So he was one way, he went the other way, he came back the other way. Is that a slam on Sean Hannity on my part? No. That's me telling you how it is. That's me giving you a fact. That's his take. My take has always been the way it is. You can take that as you want. You can use that sort of thing to determine who it is at the end of the day, if you only have one person to listen to, that you want to listen to and that you will trust. I will never, ever, ever say those sort of words, no matter what, simply because I have done my homework, and I know that if I did that, I would be throwing my American workers under the bus. You will never, ever get that from me. If that's what you want, you probably are going to be disappointed with DML. I think so. So I just wanted to put that out there because I wanted to give that explanation to you. For some reason, and maybe it's me, maybe I'm wrong, for some reason this week, I have felt like there's a disconnect. And so I'm trying to connect the dots for those of you who just aren't understanding. And so I'm not looking to talk down to you. I'm not looking to slam somebody else. I'm looking to just explain to you how it is that we do things here. We are consistently consistent. Yeah. All right, that said, until tomorrow, may God bless you. May God bless our troops. May God bless the United States of America. And may God do whatever he can do tonight to help our president deliver the best speech of his life. All right, until then, thank you for all your donations. We appreciate it in a big way. Don't forget to download the app. And adios, amigo.